Live, live, live.
Per usual. All right.
Man.
Back again.
Back again.
Middle of August.
Happy Friday, everybody.
That's exactly right. Thanks for joining us. Per
right.
usual, we love being here on Friday, a few minutes after 1, but we were just making sure that we were dialed in.
That's right.
And refined.
To bring the value.
To bring value. Got a couple things we want to bring before you today, but let's start off with some local news. Again, this may not impact some of our followers who tune in from outside of this area, but Bryant, you brought up earlier, right now we're in a unique time with sports.
Yes.
We got the NBA's in the
Very
bubble.
exciting.
College football, we don't know what's going to happen, so go ahead and stay tuned. It sounds like SEC and ACC are still going to press through.
Okay.
While three other major three conferences looks like they may, do something and not play.
Okay.
But ACC, SEC,
Come on.
hopeful.
Come on.
Which obviously impacts the local area with
Big time.
our college teams here.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that.
Yep.
But right now there is one playoff that's going on. NBA hadn't started yet. It is the NHL.
Yes.
Bryant, who's still in it right now?
Our Hurricanes.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Our Hurricanes are still in this. So,
And
very excited.
I'm going to give you credit. You brought up a good point earlier. Usually the Stanley Cup is played in June.
Yep.
But right now, because obviously of COVID, they're playing it later in the year.
Yes.
Which means that in a very unique year, probably a one-off,
Oh yeah. Like we might not ever have this again.
the Hurricanes are in the playoffs.
In
Hurricane season. Come on. Someone please get with me on that.
Man.
That's incredible.
I think the stars may align.
They may align. True story. Brian and I were meeting with a guy from up in New York, Long Island. He said he's a Rangers fan, and of course had to apologize
right.
off the bat.
That's right.
Because
Immediately.
the Canes sent the Rangers right on home. But I will say,
I've got a lot of Rangers fans that follow
the NHL gods obviously saw some sort of issue with that because they gave the Rangers the number one draft pick, I guess part of the lottery for the next year. So
Yeah.
they'll still be fine. But our Carolina Hurricanes are still in it.
Yep.
Tied 1-1 with the Bruins right now.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go, Canes.
Let's go. I mean, it's going to be... I actually... Do I want them to blow everyone out? Of course. But it makes it so much fun. It's so much fun to watch when it's tight.
I know.
When it's close, you're on the edge of your seat.
Like a lot of professional,
like everyone watching this right now,
Absolutely.
on the edge of their seat.
A lot of professional sports I will not watch until it is playoffs
season.
time. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
But and so the Hurricanes are in it. So we'll be watching.
Absolutely.
I don't know when Game 3 is, but the Canes tied it up last night. So
It's got to be soon.
Very soon.
The next couple of days, probably. Yeah, if I had to guess. But
yeah.
Anyway.
All right, let's jump into some real estate stuff. It's all we try to keep a little bit of levity, also keep up to date because so many great things happening here outside of just real estate.
I know.
But that being said, Bryant, you and I read some very, very riveting news this morning from the mortgage world that has direct impact to homeowners, and also what you might do, kind of strategizing moving forward.
Yeah.
Can you just walk us through a little bit of what you and I both saw?
Yeah. I mean, I'll do my best here. There's, the lending world is a world that can be so frustrating for so many because there's so many different bureaucratic levels and pieces at work that are moving. Like, for instance, when someone hears that the Fed drops their interest rate to 0%, people are like, oh, then why don't I have a 0% interest rate? Because the banks are charging, right?
That's right.
A profit,
That's
essentially, right? The Fed is lending money to the banks at a certain rate so that the banks can then charge the public a certain rate. They make money.
Right.
A lot of it.
And then when you throw a mortgage banker in there, they got to take a cut, right?
You got a lot of levels here, a lot of pieces.
That's right.
But something that just hit the wire this morning that we read that was definitely concerning is that there is some changes to the refi market.
Okay.
Refinances. So what's a refinance? So someone they have a mortgage. They want to take advantage of lower interest rates. They want to refinance that mortgage. They want to repackage that mortgage. They want to take advantage of a lower interest rate. That is happening on record levels.
Yeah, ubiquitously. Like if you're not doing it, it doesn't make sense.
Why?
Exactly.
So I mean, even if you bought a house last year, you're already saving money. You're saving $100, $150, $200 a month just by refinancing this year over last year. So anyways, a lot of crazy things, and people are taking advantage of that. Well, what's happening is mortgage lenders are flooded and inundated with refis. It has actually slowed down the purchase side a little bit.
Yes.
They're really overrun. With that being said, FHA and FHHA or I can't exactly pronounce it perfectly here, but there's a regulator involved that essentially has just instituted a tax. It's not an official tax, but they have instituted a tax, a fee, and it's a percentage-based fee on everyone who is refinancing right now through that program. So that's what that means in layman's terms. Your closing costs just went up. And it's going to infuriate a lot of folks. It's actually going to make it more expensive to refinance than it used to.
That's right.
But they're doing so, and they're actually their justification for doing so is based on uncertainty in our market.
That's right.
And so, with that being said, I'm not an economist. I can't speak as knowledgeably to whether or not that's a valid reason to institute this fee, this percentage, this tax, if you will. I just know that it's going to make a lot of folks upset.
Yep.
And it's going to take millions and millions of dollars of profit out of the banking sector. Some people are like, well, that seems fine. The problem is that will be passed on to the consumer. And
yes.
And so the consumers are going to feel it, and therefore it may very well, and you said it a second ago, that may have someone consider purchasing over refinancing. Is what
at the end of the day, I think that is the decision that one will make. But it's interesting because you're right. Everybody's been refinancing because it's made sense. It's like there's free money out there. Get your hands on it because interest rates are so low. Not that that's going to be necessary. I mean, the interest rates I still believe will stay low for purchasing, but on the refinancing, the government has said, no, we're going to get involved. Yes. We're going to put our hands in this because the margins, to your point, are so big from what these bankers and the lenders have been able to get a hold of. So
they're getting money at basically 0%.
Right.
And there's a lot of markup.
There's a lot of markup.
And that's because of the demand on it.
Yeah.
If there wasn't the demand on mortgages, there wasn't a demand on refis, right?
Right.
That demand, that margin would not be there.
September 1st and on is when this is going to go into effect. So, which I think, does it go, and I can't remember if in retrospect, is it, like when it begins?
I think it's it's September 1st. Starting September 1st of this year.
So I'm not and a lot of the refis are already backed up 6 weeks, just because it's of the volume. So a lot of those who if you're closing September 1st or after, it's going to impact that. And there will be a tax.
If you're tuning in right now and you're in the midst of a refi situation, if you haven't already heard of this from your mortgage lender,
you will be.
Just call them, tune in, ask those questions because this is super important.
Yep.
It is going to affect your bottom dollar if you're mid process right now.
Right.
If you do not close that refi out until after September 1st, you could very well be affected by this. So anyways, trying to keep you guys updated.
That's really important. So that's one thing on today. Our second will be this. Brian, I hear all the time, because it's kind of a unique time where folks, getting into real estate, especially in an area like the Triangle that's hot, they say, listen, I'm good with people and I love homes.
Yes.
I'm going to be a good realtor.
Maybe.
Myth? Or fact? Myth. This is actually your next episode of Mythbusters.
That's right.
We forgot to say Two Favorite Realtors on the internet on the first time. We'll close it down with that way. But Brian, someone's good with people and they like homes. They watch HGTV. They've watched Love It or Listed or any number of other shows. They follow some Instagram accounts. Are they going to be a good realtor?
Yeah.
What would you say to that? And what would you maybe say, not only to that, but also a warning of like, hey, you need to actually keep this in mind when thinking about a career in this
business? Well, the first thing I'd say is just this. When you jump into the real estate business, you are creating your own business. I mean, it is your company. It's your business.
Yes.
And you and I have had so many conversations about this. I mean, you fight for your real estate career because it's your business. It is it's your reputation. It's the way that you're, it's your name is behind it. But I find that a lot of people are not entrepreneurial in their thinking. They are not driven by marketing and sales. And they think that they will be great in real estate because they just do well with people and they really like real estate. Unfortunately, we find a lot of people do fall flat on their face because it's, you weren't coming into this industry with the mindset that you're going to have a marketing plan. You're going to have a sales plan. You're going to have sales goals. You're going to have to jump in and treat this like your own business. And so we do come across this a good bit.
Yeah, no, that's
for sure. And I mean, gosh, we both can speak from personal experience on this.
Yeah. No, I mean, the only thing I think I would add to that is just that, like, man, like, being good with people is not just that you can have good conversations. A lot of times there's an EQ over IQ of being able to deal with confrontation and just hard things, because at the end of the day, there are so many angles in which, you're going to have to walk through, especially in a home transaction where there's just so many different facets that it's not just about building a business, getting the clients is one thing. But servicing, basically taking them to get them to a finished product of a closing or buying, closing on the sale of the home or buying a home. That's a whole nother animal, and which is why we stress training. So, training and really being in a place of constant learning. But
we do major on that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people doing it part time, right? Yeah. So that's not everyone. A lot of people think I'm going to dabble. Yeah. But if one is trying to truly build a business. Where you are, and then also understand the true realities of this thing, which are that it takes a few years. I think that would be my final point here, would just be, end of the day, you looking at especially in a tough market where there are a lot. I mean, everyone in your family probably knows 1 or 2 realtors.
Heck yeah.
So you getting in doesn't mean everyone's just going to jump on, your bandwagon, your real estate train.
Yep.
So realizing I need to prove kind of some long suffering, if you will, some long haulness, if I can use that term, to prove that you're not just going to be a flash in the pan, but that you really do want to be in this industry long term. So that's just a little bit of those who may be thinking about just joining in for, just joining to be realtor. You decide you're going to do real estate school, and there's a lot of opportunities within, but sometimes being a broker may not be for everyone. There's different components, but.
Many things.
We're going to circle back. This is not just a one-day conversation.
Holy cow, no. Yeah, there's so much I think a lot of people will be able to benefit from this conversation, because fun fact.
Yes.
There are more licensees in Wake County right now than there ever have been in Wake County history. I mean, there are thousands of licensees. And so, we'll definitely be hitting on this topic again.
And to that, I would say, aha, that's all we got. That's all of our time today. Unless you have anything of close, I'm done.
No. I mean, let's just do this, okay?
Yep.
Be intentional about what you're going to do. Whether you're going to be buying a house, be intentional. Be intentional about who you work with. Be intentional about what kind of mortgage lender you choose. Be intentional about what kind of loan product you use, because it may cost you more now.
Yes.
Right? Be intentional if you're going to get into the real estate industry, because obviously there are some definite negatives, some mines in this minefield, some things that unfortunately you can't really help but step on a few of them.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to cross the field. Does that analogy make any sense?
I am following right behind you.
So, anyways, just trying to live intentional lives. That's is that helpful? I don't even know if that's helpful.
Beautiful.
Man.
Heard it right there. Guys, episode, I think 17.
Yep. That's right.
Be intentional. 2 favorite realtors on the internet. Thanks for intentionally tuning in today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
That's right. Guys, have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
All right.
We'll see you next time.